Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Internet Production, Com 375. Brandon and Terry have joined me in class. Uh, I am keeping an eye on the YouTube page to make sure, and it is up and running. So we are going to jump right in and get this started. So, hope everybody found. Oh, Zacchaeus coming in. Hope everybody found everything to be okay. Uh, Terry, Brandon, Zach, have you guys gotten your books as of yet?
Yes,
Yes.
sir. Yes, I got a digital copy.
Okay. And Brandon, you got yours?
Yes, sir.
All right. And Zach.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Gentlemen, I am going to mute you guys while I lecture. And this is why I prefer you to be on camera. If you have a question, make sure you do come on camera and wave at me. Terry, since you're already on, just wave and I will pause whatever I'm discussing, unmute you, and answer your questions. Fair enough? Good deal. Here we go. Today we're going to be talking about the audience, what audience you're trying to capture with journalism. We're going to discuss different types of audience participation in the journalistic process. I'm going to provide you an overview of mobile devices and their potential. This part of it will be extremely short because you guys are probably more adept to mobile devices than I. And provide an overview of social media and potential journalistic platforms. And Rolantia is doing the same thing that Zach did. So we're going to send her the same message that I sent Zach real quick. Give me 1 second, guys. Boom. And done. So we're talking about users, the audience, consumers, and it will do that easily by looking at the, trying to find you guys again. There you are. Okay, bringing Ro in. Rolanzia, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, and thank you for muting your mic. If you have a question, just flip your camera on real quick, wave, and I will stop and answer your question.
Okay.
Fair enough?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's always been some role for the audience in the journalistic process, but it's usually indirectly. With the rise of the internet, you're seeing more participation rather than just watching. On any given story, there's someone in the audience that knows more about it than the person who's broadcasting it. The goal should be to tap into that expertise. Now, this is not only a good thing, it's also a bad thing. And we're seeing a lot of it right now because you guys see it on social media with people posting about different things with the coronavirus. All of a sudden, everyone is a medical expert. Unless you have DR period in front of your name or PhD at the end of your name, you are not an expert. You have an opinion. You don't have fact. How do you convey the fact that you are an expert? When you convey this information, you have to, going back to the last chapter, attribute where your source is coming from, whether it be the CDC, the WHO, or whatever. All right. Another example, in a story about foreclosures, a journalist might seek sources like bank officers, financial assistants who could provide the technical details and expertise to frame the story. They would be considered experts. At the same time, they might seek people who are currently in the process of losing their home or in the market for a home. They wouldn't be experts regarding real estate or foreclosure, but they would be able to speak about how it's affected them. So they are more secondhand experts. And yes, yes. Now these sources, there you go. These sources are limited. I had to flip back over real quick and make sure nobody else had tried to join. These sources are then limited. All right. In addition to these types of sources, we often also have to consider the type of deadline that journalists go under. Is it a breaking news story? Is it another type of story with a short deadline? Or is it a story that the journalist will have more time to work on? With a longer story, the journalist, or with the breaking news, they will have to find sources rather quickly. This is why it ain't up here. This is why a lot of journalists and people in the media have Rolodexes. That's why they have a vast amount of people stored in their phone, because they can say, oh, well, this is happening right now. I need to contact this person because they're an expert in this field. And they can pull people in. This is where networking comes in. You'll hear me say that word a lot. Networking. Networking is essential to your job. For a more specialized story with longer deadlines, they can put out a call on its website for potential sources. If you're in the market for a bank-owned home or have lost a home to foreclosure, we'd like to talk with you. Things like that. So the website can be utilized as a tool to help gain more sources. Here's another example. In Huntsville, Alabama, a story posted on its website about a new city ordinance that would require some businesses and apartment complexes to provide parking areas for bicycles. The story stated that several users debated on the wisdom of the ordinance and wondered about the bike racks mentioned in the story. One of the users asked specifically about details in the law. The reporter responded by posting the actual language of the ordinance about bike racks. So that way it answered their question. In that way, journalists are increasingly realizing that a story is not necessarily finished once it's been written. The story had been written and it had been posted, but then somebody had a question that wasn't covered in the story. So, was the story completely over? Nope, it was not. Now, another type of audience that you have is crowdsourcing. Everybody knows what this is. Is distributed reporting in our industry. Crowdsourcing, that's kind of like the GoFundMes and things like that. The crowd can be geographically dispersed or can simply divide up the workload. That way, One person's doing that. You go and take pictures. You get talk to some of the witnesses at the scene of the crime. You talk to the police officers, and then come back and create the story totally together. It has its good points. It has its bad points. In some cases, crowdsourcing takes a form that is something like coordinated user-generated content, such as the New York Times recession pictures discussed. The New York Times had asked for people to send in photos of how the recession was affecting them. That was part of crowdsourcing. Then you have citizen journalism. We talked about this. Backpack journalism. All right. They don't have the educational background. But what they do have is the desire. And a lot of people, there are several people who don't have necessarily the educational background, but because of their desire and their diligence in working, they can create themselves the, I don't want to say illusion, but the persona of being an expert in the field. Rick Bragg. Everybody's heard of Rick Bragg. Rick Bragg doesn't have a degree, but yet he teaches in college because of his experience. So, well, doesn't have a degree in journalism, I believe. One model for citizen journalism is often referred to as open source journalism. I'm flipping back. I'm having to flip back and forth in between my notes and you guys. So if you're waving your hand for a question and I don't stop, open up your mic and say, hey, I need a little help. A professional journalist may begin the story or act as a facilitator and then bring people into the process at different levels. They may start working on a story and discover something and say, well, I need an expert opinion on this. So he brings someone in that's an expert. And he goes further along and, oh, well, this happened during this, so I need to bring a witness to this in. There are those who are kind of skeptical of citizen journalism. At least it's been the practice thus far. Like so many internet terms, citizen journalism has become kind of a buzzword, and it overstates its impact to it. That's the type of audience as a whole that you're going to be looking at. Now, talking about ways to create your stories and everything, let's talk about some of the types of mobile devices. Of course, everybody's got them. Everybody uses them all the time. I get on to y'all in class about being on them while I'm trying to lecture. But everybody's got a smartphone. And the thing about smartphones is they're great, but they're horrible because you have the capability to capture audio. You have the capability to capture video. You can, a lot of them have a notepad or some way to keep notes in it as well. That's all great, but you don't want to take a picture from a smartphone and put it on page 1 of your newspaper. It's not going to happen. And I don't care who tells you that it does, that, oh, my phone takes great pictures. It might for that size, But when you go to blow it up, there's not enough resolution in it, and it's going to pixelate out. This right here cannot take better pictures than a DSLR camera. I don't care who tells you it can, they're lying. They're full of crap. This cannot. My phone, I have one of the latest phones in a Moto Z4. I actually have controls in my phone, built into my phone, that I can control my focus, my white balance, my f-stop, my ISO, and my aperture. Can this phone take as good a picture as my DSLR? Nope. Because it hasn't grown that far yet. DSLR is insane with what they can do now. A camera phone can take decent pictures for a phone. And it's going to be that size. But when you go to blow it up, it's going to pixelate out. I don't care what phone you're using. It's not going to work. The mobile device's first advantage, of course, is the fact that it's mobile and it can go anywhere. But at that same time, maybe there's an emergency, things have to change. Only a phone can ring in your pocket. All right. A laptop can't wake up from sleep mode and suddenly warn you. Somebody's on Skype trying to reach you. You just got an email and all of this. That phone can. My phone, I got an app on there. It tells me in your area, it will begin raining in 10 minutes. 10 minutes later, it starts raining because I got my notifications cut off, and it lets me know. Now, given the advantages of mobility with a phone, and the speed and passion which consumers have embraced mobile devices, online journalism organizations are rushing to provide content for users on the go. We'll get into that in about 2 weeks when we start building your websites, because your website, you can have to design it not only for a laptop or a desktop computer, you have to design it for mobile devices as well. And the platform we're using will allow you to do that. Now, some prefer to keep it on desktop format. That's fine if you do. But you need to know how to adjust things, because if you were looking at it on your phone, you would have to turn it like this rather than like this, because the website's not designed for this way. It's designed for this way. I hope I held that up high enough so y'all could see it. Not really sure. See? It's going to rain in 10 minutes. Told you. I did not do that. I swear to you. It just worked out like that. And see, that right there was an email. So you see what I'm talking about. You stay connected. This right here is a digital collar, because people can find you at any given time. It's your electronic leash. At first, you might wonder why online journalism organizations would be interested in the relatively simplistic capabilities of social media. After all, most media organizations have the ability to create much more sophisticated pages for their websites. But the answer is simple. Online journalism organizations want to be involved in social media because that's where the people are. That's where you are. You guys are always on Instagram, on Twitter, on TikTok, not so much Facebook anymore. Y'all are leaving that to us old folks, and I appreciate that. But I see y'all on TikTok all the time. I see you on Instagram all the time. And that's why these media organizations are moving to this. Social media has become an integral part of everyday life. What's the first thing you do when you wake up? Oh, gotta check my Facebook. Oh, gotta check my Instagram. Oh, somebody made a new video on TikTok. Hey, that's a cute dog. Yeah, that's the first thing you do when you wake up. It's a publicity tool used to promote stories and other content. And it's a easy way. TikTok. I have seen so many TikTok videos. Hey, Dad, if I get 1 million likes on this, will you quit smoking? They're wanting that feedback tool and to foster the audience, improve involvement. And that's what the whole thing about it. Plain and simple. Keeping people connected. Now, how do you grow your social media for a media organization? Promotion. Because people spend so much time with social media and tend to interact with it throughout the entire day and night. It's obvious, and it's a very effective way to promote content. How many of you, and I'm gonna go back to the class here for this. How many of you have seen on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram a post from the New York Times, the Anniston Star, the Atlanta Journal of Constitution, AJC, Washington Post, all these news organizations, CNN, Fox News, especially right now? I know you have, because everything on social media, it's either Trump's an idiot, Trump is a hero, and coronavirus. That's it. Am I right or wrong? I want some input back from you guys this time. Let's open up some mics and get some input from y'all. Talk to me.
Well, you are right about of how news is on social media, because every time I go on Facebook, it's either like something that deals with the coronavirus now, since it's become such a pandemic. So you are right about that on the cool.
You see, everything is coronavirus. Trump's an idiot or Trump's a hero. Am I right?
On the cool.
Look, I'm neither side. I'm neither Republican nor Democrat.
I'm the type of one who doesn't really get into politics that much, but you are right on so many points of social media being on, of like news being on social media. You are right about that.
Oh yeah. And I mean, they'll promote stuff on Facebook, and it's linked to Twitter and everything else, and it's crazy how much involvement social media has. All right, now that's all I'm going to lecture on chapter 3. Your assignment is chapter assignment 3.4. Assess the degree of your local media's involvement with social media. Are they using it at all? If so, what areas are they using? And how might they improve the outreach to their audience through social media? And we got into this discussion, me and some friends of mine did, about a local media organization, because the Anniston Star, when they post an article on Facebook, you get the first 3 or 4 lines, and then it says, click here to read more. And when you click it, you have to subscribe to their online source in order to read the story. Do you think that's fair?
So we kind
Terry,
of just need to choose, like what local media we do?
Does it matter?
Yeah.
Nope.
Okay.
I mean, Zach, where are you from?
I'm from Gadsden, but I live in Jacksonville now.
You can do the Gadsden Times. You can do the Jacksonville News. I
Okay.
was kind of hoping he'd live further off.
I wish I did too.
Because then I'd say, okay, yeah, you can use the AJC, or you can use, I think it's called the Rome Gazette up in Rome. I think, I'm not sure. But whatever is local to your home area, that's fine.
Okay.
All right. Any questions on chapter 3?
Which assignment did you say it was?
3.4.
Okay. Got it.
All right. Moving on. Chapter 4. Tools and terminology. All right. Oh, geez. Got a little something on my vest there. Sorry. Get me a swaller. All right. Tools and terminology. No matter what kind of device you use or what type of data you're transmitting over the internet, it's got to have some common concepts. All right. The first is TCP/IP. Now, I'm going to get into some technical stuff in this chapter. TCP/IP, that stands for Transmission Control Protocol, Internet Protocol. All right. The technology used to transmit information over the internet. All right. In a nutshell, the way TCP/IP works is by breaking down data into small chunks called packets that are addressed to specific computers. All right. Once these packets reach their destination, they're reassembled and recreate the original data. Let's say I am going to send you, I'm looking for something. All right. I'm going to send you this. This is an insurance card. Well, and it's an old one, so I can do this. You're going to have all right. I am going to send you this insurance card via the computer. Well, the computer can't send the whole thing at once. So it breaks it down. Sends the smaller pieces, and then once it reaches your computer, it reassembles them without the tears and everything, but puts it all back together. That's as simple as I can get with it. All right. And these packets, once they get there, we used to have issues when you send somebody a picture or something that you might have a black line through their eyes or something because the packet didn't go through. Today, with the way the internet is and with all of the advancements we've had, it's rarely an issue. So you need to be familiar with TCP/IP. You also need to know HTML, Hypertext Markup Language. Now, when the internet first started, this is how they built pages, was through HTML. It allows text, pictures, video, other media elements to all be intermingled on the computer screen, and it lets users jump from computer to computer by simply clicking their mouse. It actually put the link, that's what's used, the language is used in the website to put links into your website. Although their innovations have been taken for granted, it is a giant leap forward from earlier internet where you might get a command like mgetscores.txt/Facebook asterisk image.gif hyphen replace. That right there, nobody would understand. But you can type in www.streamyard.com and get their website. HTML is used to create multiple web pages, and today HTML is not as broadly used. Today, a lot of people are using, they use Python, they use Java. What is the other one? There's another one that's being used. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. If I think of it, I'll let you know. But all it does is create the page. Well, you have to have some way to access it, the page. And that's where the Uniform Resource Locator comes in, the URL. All right. That's your actual full web address. Now, a lot of you may notice that from time to time you go to CNN.com. Well, when the page pulls up, it doesn't necessarily say CNN.com. It doesn't even necessarily say www.cnn.com. You'll see that it says http://www.cnn.com/home. That is your URL. All of that. The URL, again, Uniform Resource Locator, is the exact position on the internet in which you are looking for. All right. The HTTP at the beginning, Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Okay, and for those of you still waiting on books from athletics, I have someone looking into it for you because you need your books now. All right. What did I get to? Hypertext Transfer Protocol, HTTP. All right. Fortunately, modern browsers automatically add http:// to your web address. So all you have to do is, I know everybody thinks this is crazy. Back in my day, we had to type in www.cnn.com. Today, you just got to go to cnn.com. And a lot of you probably go CN and the predictor comes up, cnn.com, and you click it. You don't even type out full web addresses anymore. Now, the next thing I want to talk to you about is pull and push. The rise of the new internet connected devices and apps has helped fuel the move from a pull technology to a push technology. And what I mean by is, like I said, back in my day, we would pull from the internet photos, music, videos, things like that. Today, because of apps primarily like Facebook, TikTok, especially Instagram, we are pushing information into the internet rather than pulling. In effect, what happens is what the user's computer connects to the server and says, "What do you have for me today?" All right. That's pull technology, to where you're going out looking for cat videos or whatever. And push technology is where you're saying, "Oh, meet Mr. Fluffles. He is my pretty kitty." That is push technology, because you're putting that out to people. All right. The pull technology, uh, the user essentially pulls their information from a remote computer. In recent years, however, push technology has become more prevalent online. Here, the information transaction originates with the server, which says, in effect, "I have something for you," and it sends it to the client's computer. The main difference is that the push model, the user receives updated information automatically without having to ask for it. It's like subscriptions. If you guys listen to a podcast and you subscribe to it, they're going to let you know when the latest episode comes out. Syndication is a mixture of both push and pull technology. Basically, the user subscribes to the service and they can easily review updated information. Many websites now allow users to subscribe to RSS, really simple syndication. Again, RSS, really simple syndication. I kid you not, that is exactly what it stands for. I know, it's really simple, right? Once the user is subscribed to a given feed, they can automatically receive their info for when the feed is updated. They don't have to go every day. "Oh, have they updated yet? Oh, I need the latest episode. Oh, jeez." No, it's more like bing, bing. Oh, new episode. Boop. And there you go. The New York Times has one about hockey, just hockey. When the user subscribes to this feed, they'll receive future stories from the New York Times that involve hockey. So if they put out a story about hockey, then you're going to get a message, "Hey, new story about hockey." "Oh, cool." Oh, there you go. And there's so many RSS syndications out there that it's insane, and so specific as well. I want college football in the state of Alabama only dealing with D1A and D2 and D3 schools. In other words, you won't hear nothing about Alabama or Auburn, but you'll hear about UNA, you'll hear about Troy, you'll hear about, no, actually, you won't hear about Troy anymore. They moved up. You'll hear about JSU, the smaller schools. So you can eliminate the larger schools in there. Many sites have podcasts that provide audio or video and have adopted a logo initially developed by Mozilla to indicate the presence of the RSS. You'll see that little orange RSS tab looking thing. That's it. Now, I'm not going to get that much deeper into the tech side of it, but I did that much because I wanted you to know those terms. The Hypertext Transfer Protocol, IP, all of that. I wanted you guys to make sure that you learn that. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Yes, it will be on the final. Moving on. As we've discovered, an important feature of the internet is its ability to provide content in a variety of forms. Text, graphics, audio, video, all available. All right. All this is possible because the content can be manipulated by computers transmitted over the networks, and delivered right to you. Before that can happen, the content must be converted into digital form. I cannot send you that ID card that I was talking about until it got scanned in and made digital, right? I can't send you my bottle of green tea and you get a physical bottle of green tea. No, it's got to be made digital. Take a picture of it. All right. It is important to have a basic understanding not only of what it means to be digital, but how various types of digital media work. All right. The bits, the bytes, and the like. The entire computer revolution, the subsequent internet revolution, and perhaps future revolutions we have not even dreamed up yet. And in digital form, information is converted into individual bits, with each bit having a value of either 0 or 1. This is called binary. Everything can be converted into binary. There is a full language of binary. Used to, I can't do it that much anymore because it's been years. I can actually read binary code because you have 8 zeros and ones. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. The letter A is all zeros. The letter B, that one right there, is a 1. So it's 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1. All right. And it goes on and on. I used to get to take all these zeros and ones and read it and transcode it in no time flat. Now it'd probably take me forever. It's important to contrast digital data with analog, like in audio, in photography. Everything has to be converted. Analog is the way we see light waves and hear sound waves. And this is how radio and television signals are transmitted through the air until no, it wasn't the 90s. It was in the 2000s, 2009, maybe 2010. And that's when they killed analog television. You know, used to you get a set of rabbit ears and you could tune in a couple of stations, no more. Digital bits are normally grouped into 8-digit streams called bytes. A kilobyte is 1,000 bytes. A megabyte is 1,000,000. A gigabyte is 1,000,000,000. A terabyte is 1,000,000,000,000. You guys know these terms. How big is your jump drive? Oh, it's 16 gig. Oh, it's a terabyte. You guys know these terms, and it's the exact same thing. All right. So, know of the terms, but I'm not going over them because you already know them. The last little bit, text, graphics, and this is straight from the book that I'm telling you to read. Text, graphics, still scrolling, sound, and video, and I want to say there was one more. Text, text, graphic, sound, video, and links. You guys need to read that. Now, the biggest controversy with this is whether you use a laptop or a desktop. 3 years ago, I would not recommend using a laptop for much of anything because the power just wasn't there. Today, the laptops are just as powerful, if not more, than desktops. Laptops provide portability. They're also more expensive. You can get a desktop pretty cheap now. It's also usually more expensive and too difficult to upgrade individual components of laptops. So it's what you buy is what you get. That's why mine, I built it myself. I can do that. Obviously, a laptop can be very useful to a journalist who wants to have access to a computer while being in the field. But here's the thing. How are you going to connect? Can't just go out to a power pole and go and plug into an Ethernet cable. Got to have Wi-Fi. All right, Wi-Fi. You have to have Wi-Fi. You can get a netbook computer, but you have to make sure you have Wi-Fi. But again, going back to these little devils, because now instead of having Wi-Fi all the time, I'm looking for it because I know it's on here. There it is. Digital hotspot. That allows me to connect my laptop to my cell phone to the internet when I don't have internet. It's great. It's beautiful. But you can make sure you are connected. Stay. Although many netbooks can handle the demands of most software, they may not be strong enough for high-level processing of photographs, audio, and video. When we went on quarantine in the spring semester, this was a concern because audio production, you guys didn't have access to the lab anymore. You guys should not have to purchase anything. I had to find a workaround, and I did. Same way with video production, because especially video production, because the software that we use, Adobe Premiere, you have to have a beast of a computer for it to work. Not everybody's got a beast. Most people are over there, I hate my laptop. This thing sucks. There's no power. Can't work. And a lot of people are complaining about them. But the thing is, we have found a video editor that if we are still under quarantine, we will be able to continue these classes. It is a free editor. It's a free download. No, I'm not going to tell you about it yet because I want you to get Adobe when you graduate. It's $20 a month, and it's well worth it. And you get everything. You get Photoshop, you got Lightroom, you get Premiere, you get Audition, you get everything. The full master suite, $20 because you got a student email address. As long as you got that edu on the end, you can get it. The other huge controversy, and I'm going to let y'all weigh in on this one too, because this is our last topic. The other huge controversy is PC or Mac. And I'm going to run down the list here. Brandon Brown, PC or Mac? What do you prefer, sir?
I can't hear you.
Huh?
I said, say it again.
Which do you prefer, PC or Mac?
I'm a PC guy.
You're a PC guy, okay.
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Davis?
For me, well, I have both a PC and a Mac. But for me, because I started learning how to use my MacBook ever since we've been in quarantine, I'm mainly towards the PC side, but I started learning how to use my MacBook. So with me right now for that question, I would have to say PC.
Okay. But you're about half and half. You're learning both.
Yes, sir.
I got you. Zach?
PC all the way. I hate Apple. Sticking with it.
Don't hold back, Zach. Tell me how you really feel. Ro?
I've been using Mac for like 3 years, so yeah, Mac for me.
Battle Royale, Zach and Ro, PC versus Mac.
Mac has some challenges because I've downloaded some stuff from like as I had to do Word document and all that kind of stuff because I went to Gaston State. So Mac does has its challenges, but I've been using it for a while now, so I'm used to it.
Well, if you've been in my office, you know, my answer to that is yes. Because in my office currently, now mind you, this is not my normal office. Currently, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 computers in here. 3 are Macs, 2 are PCs. Normally, I have 7. And on a busy day, all 7 of them are working because I have computers set up for specific things. I have an audio capture computer that is a PC that is sitting on my desk that runs Windows 95.
Oh, that was Windows back in the day.
Windows 95. And here's the thing, it has never been on the internet. Never. All I use it for because I have an audio card that fit that computer to where I can plug RCA inputs into it and record audio. That's why I will not get rid of it because it allows me more versatility. But I've got my HP Omen laptop that I built that is a beast that's faster than anything I've ever had. And I was actually I was rendering video, rendering audio, rendering video in Premiere Pro, rendering audio in Adobe Audition, and rendering special effects in After Effects all simultaneously while surfing the internet, and it never slowed down. I put it through its paces and it held up. Now, your assignment. Let me get back over here to my notes. Your assignment for this one. Visit websites that have digital video or audio available. Download a few clips. What do you notice about the time it takes to download them? Did you have to download a plugin to listen to the clips? Does the site make it easy to access the plugins if a user does not have them? All right. So you're going to check out. Now, this one may be a little difficult, and if you have difficulty, I want to know about it because that's the reason why I picked this one, because I remember having to download a plugin to listen to music from a certain radio station or to watch a video. I had to download a FLV player or QuickTime just to download, just to watch something. I want to know if it's still like that. So I'm using you guys pretty much as guinea pigs to find out. Hope you enjoy it. Run, guinea pig, run.
This is going to be fun.
So Chapter 4 assignment, visit some websites that have digital video and audio available. Download some clips. If you notice how long it takes to download it. All right. I want to know about times. I downloaded a 4-minute song in 2 minutes, or I downloaded a 4-minute song and it took 30 minutes. And don't forget chapter 3 assignment, assess the degree of your local media's involvement with social media. All right. Are they using it? How are they using it? And how can they improve? All right. So, any questions?
I'm good.
No, sir.
That was Terry and Brandon. Zach, Roe?
No, sir. I'm good.
I'm good.
All right. Y'all hold tight. I'm fixing to end the broadcast, but y'all stay right there just a second because we can still chit chat.